Welcome to the show. Today we're going to take a look at the TRX 515 by TenPoint. Alright guys, so I pulled this out of the box, put it together. I'm shooting the Nitro 505 right now. The tech they put into this 515 is incredible. A whole bunch of different things on here. It's lighter, there's no rail, there's new trigger. Everything is working a little different. The ambidextrous safety. There's a whole bunch of different things on top of. We're gonna see what we really get out of the speed. Heavy price tag at about $3,500, but I'm telling you, I shot a deer with one about the same price last year, and it's worth it. So the technology that you're gonna get for $3,500, you will see if you can get your hands on one of these. I can't wait to start shooting this. Let's give it a shot.
Wow. Oh my God.
Dang.
Holy.
So if you've shot a TenPoint before, this is a little different with the new mechanism. It's all inside. The release is back here, so once you've shot or once you pull it out of the box, you're gonna have to hit this button here to release the mechanism to go down. It's a little different than the ones I've been shooting, but it's pretty easy. It pulls up fine, not a lot of effort to do that. Just gotta make sure with any crossbow that you hear the clicks. That's the most important thing. You gotta make sure the string's all the way in, and then when it comes back, it'll click in again. Otherwise, you won't get the bolt to snap into the into the back mechanism. From experience, you'll know, because it will not allow you to go into fire. So that's how you know. You'll notice here, and I'm pointing away from everybody, this crossbow will not go into fire unless the arrow is in the right position, and you'll hear it click. But another thing you want to be careful of here is that there's a rest up here with 2 ball bearings and a brush. You want to make sure the front of your bolt is exactly where it needs to be too. But once it's in there, it doesn't move around. So that's good when you're hunting. White vein down. Good?
Yep.
Alright, we're going to speed test the TRX 515. We're using the bolts that came with it, 440 grain 20-inch bolt. Alright, we just got done shooting the TRX 515, and here's some of the specs. 29 inches in length, which is pretty short for a bow that goes this fast. 12 inches uncocked to 6 inches cocked, which is crazy. 16-inch power stroke, 300-pound draw weight, and the bow is 7.2 pounds, which just cuts quite a bit off last year's. It has an AccuSlide Max cocking device, Evo X Marksman 3 Elite scope with red and green reticle, which is really nice, reverse draw style, and the AccuSlide Max to do safety cocking, which will lock in place. You don't have to keep your hand on the on the cocking device. So let's talk the speed test. We had a 440 grain center punch bolt and got us 500 feet per second. To get to that 515, they do have a bolt that goes at 400 grains that will get you to your 515. So if you want to get to the 515, you got to go down to the 400 grain bolt, but let's be honest, 500 feet per second with a 440 grain bolt is going to do some damage and you're good to go. So some of the new tech you're going to see on the TRX 515 is the twin riser technology. It's 41% lighter and 2 times stiffer than traditional risers. The next thing is a zero track barrel and guide lock arrow rest system. So no more rail lube. This is a railless system. The most important thing is to make sure that your bolt is locked in here. The ball bearings will never wear out. All you got to worry about is that it's on track, and always vein down when you're shooting in a system like this, obviously. In order to shoot it will lock in. It will not fire, it will not go into fire unless that bolt is in there correctly, which is a great idea to have for safety. We have the TriggerTech trigger with the AR style safety. It's ambidextrous, which is pretty awesome. There's no more searching for your safety. It's there and there. Either way, whatever hand you are, and it's a 3-pound trigger, and it's a very nice trigger. Just overall, the technology that's been built in here, on top of going down to 7.2 pounds and being 29 inches in length. If you've used a higher end TenPoint before, you've seen this scope. It's very nice. It's got a red and green reticle. Definitely good for, you know, when it's getting a little darker in the morning or at dusk. It zooms in very good. The most important thing is to make sure that when you're using it, that I've had issues with this before, not with a TenPoint, is to make sure that you're locked in on the 500 or 515, wherever your bolt's going, to make sure that, you know, all your target shots are good to go. There is a little bit different cocking system than I'm used to. So in order to release the mechanism, you got to hit this button here and then decock it. But the cool thing about this, if you have it cocked and you're done hunting, you hit that button again, start drawing it back, and it's staying, it locks in place. So one of the most important things when you're getting up to 500 feet per second, we learned this the hard way after we wrecked, you know, hundreds of dollars worth of bolts buried up to the fletchings. You got to get yourself a nice target, and they're making lots of nice targets now that can handle the 500 feet per second. So it's very important. It'll pay for itself, I promise you, if you just go ahead and do something like that. There's a couple things that I would probably like to see an upgrade on. Probably the quiver. For a crossbow of this magnitude, it could probably be upgraded to ensure you're fitting big broadheads in here. I like to use, you know, certain broadheads that are pretty wide in my crossbows, and then the stirrup too. That's kind of small. You're not getting your boot in there. It's okay with this system. You know, I wouldn't run into a problem there, but if you had to get your boot in there for some reason, it obviously ain't going in there. So what you're looking at is probably one of the top crossbows on the market. You pay for this technology. Some of you might think it's absolutely worth it. I think it's really cool. You can even add yourself a range finding bow sight and get up into the over $4,000 to this thing. So go ahead, check out TenPoint's website. We'll link it below. And they have tons of crossbows. If you're looking for a little bit less of a pricey bow, you know, with a little bit less technology, all their crossbows are great. I've shot quite a few of them. Just all you're gonna see is a little bit less technology than this, but they're solid, they're great bows, and give them a shot.